Some Democrats, they're shying away from Nancy Pelosi's leadership. The Democrats aim to take back the House in November. Our next guest says, do not count on a blue wave winning in November. In other words, don't count on the Democrats actually taking back the House in November. Look who's here. Former Arkansas Governor Mike Huckabee. So why do you say, I mean, conventional wisdom, Governor, is that the Democrats, they're just going to walk right in there and take control again. Why do you say they're wrong?
Well, first of all, there's nothing conventional about this era of politics. But let's ask ourselves, what's the Democrats' message? Elect us. We'll raise your taxes back up to where they used to be. We'll restore all the parts of Obamacare. We will also open our borders and fire a bunch of ICE agents and make it easier to slip in the border. Oh, and we'll go back to that foreign policy that gave us ISIS, the Iran deal, and that did nothing about Syria and North Korea. Now, does that sound like a winning message to you? If it does, you'll be voting to make Nancy Pelosi Speaker again.
But has the message of growth and prosperity and better wages and more jobs, that's the other side of the coin. I don't think that message is necessarily getting through. You can't penetrate the media.
Well, it's hard to get through to the media because all we're hearing is Russia, Russia, Russia. It sounds like sort of a mess-up of the Brady Bunch, Marcia, Marcia, Marcia. And that's what we hear every single day from the media, that it's all about Russia and collusion, even though there's no evidence of it. The harassment toward this president is just simply over the top. But there comes a point at which I think people are getting numb to it, getting sick of it, and they realize that even while the talking heads on most networks only talk about these peripheral issues, the truth is this is an administration that's getting things done that affect their lives. And when they talk around the kitchen table, they ain't talking Russia. They're talking about more money in their pockets and paychecks, and they're talking about a president who wants to build a wall and not let people in who are waving the flags of a foreign country in their face.
You know, Governor, we had that NBC. They had to correct the wiretap story on President Trump's personal lawyer, Michael Cohen. If you look at MSNBC or CNN, it's nonstop Stormy Daniels. That's all it is. Now, I said a little earlier in the program that if you try to take down this president on the basis of what may have been a white lie about an alleged affair 10 years ago, before he got into politics, you try to take him down on that, and I think there will be hell to pay. Excuse my language, but I think that's the way it's going to be. What do you say?
I totally agree with you, Stu. But, of course, I never disagree with you, Stu. So what can I say?
Stop.
But, you know, I sometimes think CNN is running really a parody of the Weather Channel because it's stormy, stormy, stormy. They might as well get Jim Cantore to come on and hug some type of light pole and talk about Stormy. They've had her lawyer on more times than they have anybody from the administration. They, at some point, have to become embarrassed by their lack of practicing legitimate journalism.
Okay, Governor. You think that the Republicans will keep control of the House and that the Democrats will not be successful in impeaching the president over a white lie? Yes, sir, we do agree. Thanks very much for joining us, Governor. Great stuff. We appreciate it. Thank you, sir.
Always a pleasure, Stu.